Snoop Diggity Doo Dog, as you know, said that he was going to give up smoke. And when this ad came, he posted it to Instagram. He said, hey, I'm giving up smoke. Please respect my privacy, Snoop. And I said, hold up. All the fellas who be saying he's soft, Snoop don't play. He's going to rock it until the wheels fall off. I thought that we might actually be preparing for a new episode. So if Snoop was going to give up the sin spinach, maybe he'd move on to puffing something else. For those who are listening right now, I am in fact tapping the Mayflower box. But it turns out Snoop had another trick up his sleeve. Here it is.
I have an announcement. I'm giving up smoke. I know what you're thinking. Snoop, smoke is kind of your whole thing. But I'm done with it. Done with the coughing and my clothes smelling all sticky icky. I'm going smokeless. Solo Stove Fix Fire. They took out the smoke. Clever.
Snoop is there, obviously high, toasting a marshmallow. It's clever. I loved even the commentary of the ad where he just looks at you and it's so officiously lame that it's actually cool and funny again. He goes, clever. I'm going smokeless for this fire pit that I have outside. That dirty D-O-double-G. He got us again. Now, maybe I should send him a box of Mayflower anyway. Maybe it's just an opportunity. Right now, go to ZipRecruiter.com/Knowles. With Thanksgiving just a few days away, I wanted to show some gratitude to some of the people on my team. To Mr. Davies and Professor Jacob for producing our show. To Danny, producer Danny, for editing the show. To the great famous Tessa for keeping me on top of everything I have to do every day. It takes a team of amazing people to make this show successful, just like it takes an amazing team to make any business successful. If you're hiring, you need to find the best people for your team. You need ZipRecruiter. Right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/Knowles, K-N-W-L-E-S. ZipRecruiter uses smart technology to scan thousands of resumes to find the most qualified people for your job. ZipRecruiter lets the most qualified people know that they are a great match and encourages them to apply. ZipRecruiter is trusted by millions. In fact, over 3.8 million businesses have come to ZipRecruiter for their hiring needs. See for yourself why so many business owners are hiring based on ZipRecruiter. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. I would be very grateful if you would go to this exclusive web address to try ZipRecruiter for free. ZipRecruiter.com/Knowles, ZipRecruiter.com/KNWLES, ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. There's a note I wanted to read. Someone wrote into me 2 days ago. A listener wrote in. And when I talk about dogs, it's not that I'm a dog person. It's not that I'm a cat person. I say I'm a people person. And I wrote in, or rather, I mentioned this story about how pets don't make people happier. There's a study. I think studies are mostly bogus, but when they back up my points, I cite them. And the study said, actually, you think pets are going to make you happier. They really don't. Pet owners and non-pet owners are about equally happy. And I said, this is important because there's no substitute for humanity. Maybe you can't have a child. Maybe you're infertile. A lot of people deal with that. It's a very tough thing to deal with. Maybe you're not called to marriage. Maybe you're not called to parenthood. But you should be involved with people. You can be called to a kind of spiritual parenthood, like being you're a godmother, godfather, maybe you're a priest or otherwise religious. But you need to be involved with people. Dogs aren't going to cut it. And I got this letter. It says, Michael, I'm a 45-year-old mom of dog that completely agrees with your opinion regarding dog moms. Not dog parents, as the men rarely use the moniker. I fully fell for the lie that as a woman, I could have it all. I graduated college with a BS in nursing and an officer's commission in the U.S. Air Force. Thank you for your service. I had every intention of seeing the world, finding the perfect man, and being able to work full-time while raising my children. But thanks to chick flicks and the feminist worm in my ear, I kept looking for the next best thing and missed what was right in front of me. I fled from a wonderful man who wanted to marry me because I had come to believe I could do better. Wrong. I bounced from man to man, always wanting something more. I lost out on my one opportunity to have a family and suffered the pain and loss of having to abort an ectopic pregnancy due to complications associated with endometriosis. Even though it was a non-viable pregnancy, I grieved the loss of that little zygote every day. As a result of my struggles, I became closed off and unable to accept love from men. I remain single to this day. Although I have come to understand my mistakes and accept my culpability, I know I am also a casualty of the leftist feminist ideology. I pray every day for healing and guidance from God, for He is truly the only one who can make me whole and worthy of love. Since I'm single and alone, I've chosen a dog as a companion for now. It was either that or cats, and I refuse to be a cat lady. I also deal with PTS from my military service and was graced with the gift of my Aussie Doodle puppy 2 years ago. While I love him dearly and I'm so grateful to have a watcher while I pee, I do my very best to avoid the dog mom stereotype. I also urge every woman I talk to avoid my mistakes and accept that having it all is impossible. It's a cruel joke played by the left and perpetuated by Hollywood and the media. It's so important to keep telling women that there is always a sacrifice when we try to have it all. And the real question is, what are we willing to sacrifice? I grew up with a working mom and dad. I can say with no hesitation I would have preferred my mom was home more. Any child that has a working mom is losing out on a very important bond, and it will shape them in unimaginable ways and forever harm their life. I'm fortunate enough to still have my mom and dad together and in my life, but many adult children don't. It's the truth that the only thing I want from my parents is their time and company. Money is important for survival, but you are so right when you say a childless life is not worth a small increase in income. I'm living proof. I would give up that 8% and more to be able to go back and fix the dumbest mistake of my life. I've tried to be a parental figure by sponsoring a child through Compassion International. I write letters to her and try to be a good influence, but it is a pale imitation of what I should have. I have a 16-year-old nephew who is a budding artist, and I try to nurture his talent, but he lives far away and it's difficult to communicate with him. I take solace that my nephew was homeschooled by my sister-in-law, and I tell her she's a hero every chance I get. I'm so worried about the future of younger generations and how poorly they've been raised. Many of whom have been raised by public school teachers, how warped and poisoned their minds have become. They've become confused about everything and are ripe for the plucking by leftist propaganda and activism. I encourage you to share my story and keep talking about the importance of faith in God, family, children, and committed couples. These are the only things that will save us from the abyss of leftist ideology and agenda. And then she goes on to thank me for the show. Really good letter. Thank you for your letter. Sorry for the difficulties you have faced, but I think it was really articulate, and you are giving people the grace of teaching by example of the things you've learned. Really good lesson. Man, what a great clip that was. Now, hey, come on, Jack. Come on, man. Ring that bell. Subscribe to the Michael Knowles YouTube channel. See you next time.